Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of Makeup and a Movie, and today we are talking about Antman, which is amazing. And for this look that you see right here, I am using the Wet n Wild Angels in Aubergine palette, as well as this palette right here, which is the Coastal Scent Hot Pots palette that I created in superhero colors. And for the lips, I am using the NYX Intense Butter Gloss in Spice Cake. So if you want to see how I created this look, it is happening next. Start off on my face, I have used my favorite Revlon Color Stay, and this is in the shade 110 Ivory. For, I think this is for normal to dry skin. I should have gotten the combination and I didn't. But I'm also looking to review like more foundations for oily or combination skin. So if you guys know of any, make sure you put in the comments below. I do have this and I have Rimmel, but if you guys know of any other ones that are some good ones, please put that below because I'm looking for it. Alright, and after that, I have used my Mary Luminizer highlighter. I really only have two highlighters now. I have this one and one from e.l.f. I love them both equally. And then I'm using this blush, which is the Wet n Wild Color Icon blusher in 831E Pearlescent Pink. I also have this in a bigger size, but both of them are kind of awesome. I love them both. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with, on the eyes, this is going to be an adventure for us all, I think. I'm doing some new things today. I'm going to start off with this NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil. This is in the shade Pure Gold. And I'm gonna put this color right on my lid and kind of work my way up into the crease to kind of get more of a base like up here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this palette, which I did a review kind of on another video. I will link that below, but this is the Coastal Scents Hot Pot palette that I'm using for superhero looks. So inside that, I'm going to be using this yellow right here in Solar Flare, and I'm gonna put that over the top of the gold as we go to kind of see if it will like be a little bit more luminescent. So these two colors are going to be representative of Yellow Jacket, and hopefully you'll be able to see that in the look.
So Antman has come out, the next movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, pretty much ending the Phase 2 of the Cinematic Universe, and the startup of the next phase is going to begin with Captain America: Civil War. So
when does that come out?
Next year.
Okay, so we have to wait a little while.
Yeah, don't know when next year, but I know next year for sure. Probably summer. It feels like they usually release them in the summertime.
Which is sad because they should release at least one like during the holidays, you would think. Maybe Fantastic Four, that's what they're thinking is their winter one. Which
yeah, sure. But then they have the TV shows, like they have Peggy Carter and S.H.I.E.L.D., so that kind of fills in the gaps, which is fun. So yeah, the Antman is about this burglar. He is released from prison, and he's trying to start on the straight and narrow. You know, he's trying to be a good dad for his daughter. He's divorced for obvious reasons. He was a burglar. And he's married to Judy Greer, which is really funny because Judy Greer also played the mother in Jurassic World to the two boys who were in it. I love her. We were talking about her a couple of weeks ago too, because we were like, she always plays a sidekick or she plays like, you know, a straight character, but either way, I think she's never on screen enough for my taste. She always kind of like pops up somewhere and you're like, oh, there she is again. Hey. And it's always fun seeing her. I think like a lot of people in the audience kind of did that too when they saw her. They were like, oh, hey, that chick, she's here again. And so, yeah. He then realizes it's really hard to kind of get on the straight and narrow because he has his prison background, or his thief background, kind of following him everywhere. And so the former Antman, played by Michael Douglas, hires him to kind of help save the world in a way, but in a kind of a caper heist type of situation, though, to prevent this other guy who has been using parts of Ant-Man's plans for how to make people small. He wants to create turned it into a weapon basically for the military or whoever the highest bidder is, basically, not necessarily the U.S. military.
Because that's what you do in all of these movies. Let's take our technology and make it accessible to the military.
Yeah, I mean...
Every time.
That's what making money is all about.
Of course.
Right. I mean,
world domination.
Here's what it's about. What happened? So that's what he's doing. He's going to use that Antman tech to create military weapons for the highest pair. And it's kind of interesting when you find out who the highest pair is near the end. I was kind of surprised. Even though, like, it makes sense, I didn't see that coming. I don't know. Maybe that's me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can see why. We're not going to spoil who it is, but if you've watched a lot of the Marvel movies, you know it's basically two things against each other. It's Avengers and somebody else. So
usually.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's just in the movie. He comes in and he's learning how to be Ant-Man and use all the technology and everything, while at the same time there's like some family drama happening between the original Ant-Man and his daughter.
Who is played by Evangeline Lilly, if you guys watched Lost. I honestly think that her acting in this was so much better. I mean, I liked her in Lost, don't get me wrong, but her acting in this was so much better than Lost. She has grown so much as an actress, I think.
Yeah. And she was in The Hobbit too, in the Hobbit series.
Yeah, I always forget that. I don't know. Don't get me started on The Hobbit. Like, I really love the Hobbit series, but I don't like to watch it more than once. I tend to fall asleep. It's very long, you know? So I appreciate it for what it is. It's just not my thing. So I'm going to try to tell you the next part of what I'm doing. I like what it looks like so far. I can actually see on camera. It's very yellow. And you can see the gold up above it, so that's nice. All right, so next up, what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna blend. I didn't even think about this part. Okay, so I need to blend out that yellow just a little bit more. So what I think I might do is use a little bit of this aluminum taupe right here. That's kind of a silvery-ish color. Just gonna blend that out a little more, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use these colors. This is the Angels and Aubergine Wet and Wild palette, and I'm going to make these two colors, this like burgundy color here and the black one here, and I'm going to use that in the outer V and into the crease, and then on underneath my eyes a little bit, just to smoke it out and give it a little bit more definition in there. Are you fascinated? He's like, huh?
I am. Like, it's all new to me for the most part. Like, I know like stage makeup from doing theater in school. That's about it. You go 2 shades darker, make your eyebrows darker. Like, that's about all I remember.
With me, it's a learning for me too. Like, I keep watching people do this, and I'm like fascinated. There's so many different techniques out there that you can use. It's amazing. That's what makeup is all about.
All right, so Ant-Man. All right, so he's hired by the old Ant-Man to break in and get the new technology that's being used to prevent it from getting into the wrong hands, because he originally didn't want S.H.I.E.L.D. to be using it for bad reasons in the first place, because that's what they were. He was with S.H.I.E.L.D. a long time ago, originally anyways. So yeah, you get like a kind of a montage of him trying to learn how to be ant-like and talk to the ants and stuff like that. And it's all really cool. Like, I did not have much interest in seeing this movie in the first place.
No,
like,
when I
first heard about it, I'm like, this is like the weirdest superhero ever. Like Ant-Man, like, really. But the people that made this movie, they took it and owned it, and yeah, there's some like goofiness of the whole, like, he's an ant, he can turn into an ant, he can talk to ants in a way, and control them, and there are going to be some fights that are ant-sized, and that's kind of ridiculous, but they took it and owned it and made it work, and made you laugh at a couple times, but on purpose.
That's because Paul Rudd is perfect for this movie. Because when I first thought, like, Paul Rudd is a superhero, really? I love him. I've had a man crush on him since Clueless. So when he was in this movie, I was like, oh, you know, maybe that's why I'll watch it. But honestly, because it's so goofy and because he's a goofball, it completely works. It was hysterical. Like, Marshall was next to me just laughing his head off. And it's a different genre than Avengers, I think. But if you're looking to have a good time, yeah, exactly.
And it definitely has a different tone, and I think that's because of the type of superhero he is. He's Ant-Man. I mean, like, how serious can you really take that? If you take it too serious, it's just gonna be like, this is really over the top, like, too much.
Too much.
So they really make it work a lot. And the acting, like you were talking about Paul Rudd, like everyone owned it. Like everyone was really good. Michael Douglas was great.
Yeah,
as the kind of retired Ant-Man. Evangeline Lilly, or was that her name?
Evangeline Lilly.
I felt like I said it wrong. But yeah, like she was great as a daughter. That whole situation that was going on with them and their backstory.
And then his friend, oh my gosh, I can't remember his name.
Oh, Michael Pena?
Oh, Michael Pena was amazing. He was hysterical. Like everything out of his mouth. Like he's like, there's this one part where, you think he's really thug because that's kind of how he acts, but then there's this one part where he's sitting there talking about how he doesn't like red wines, but he found a rosé that was just incredible, and you're like...
He's like, I went to this wine tasting one time, and I'm like, the first thing I'm thinking is like, okay, was he robbing people or doing something like that? No, he was sitting there at a wine tasting wine with somebody, and he tells a story. But like, yeah, you're like,
it's amazing. It's so great.
But yeah, like everyone just like was so good in it. Corey Stoll is great. You probably recognize him from House of Cards if you watched that.
Oh yeah,
season.
Peter Russo.
Yeah, he was really great in that. He's great in this too as the villain. And I mean, that's not a spoiler, he's a villain right away. But he's really great because he can do like the different layers. Like there's definitely something going on with this guy mentally, and all this stuff. So I think he was really good as the villain. And there wasn't too much to him as a Marvel villain either, though. So I kind of felt that was lacking a little bit.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I'm just gonna do this because my mentor, abandoned me, and so now I'm going to screw him over, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, and then the comedy was perfect and spot on, and the parts where it needed to be. Visual effects were amazing. Like, of course, after a Marvel movie, you have to sit there through the whole credits because you want to see those end scenes. And so much credits were dedicated to visual effects artists. Like, so many visual effects artists in the movie, and it turned out perfect. Like, it was good. Everything looked amazing. And you had to, with the way this movie was going to be. Like, shrinking the guy so much, and the ants, and yeah.
I'm digging this eye look. Right now.
Yeah, it is really
I'm really digging it.
It's really fun.
So, like, yeah, I mean, I would wear this out. This is amazing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to line my underwater line. This is a Cynthia Rowley silver eyeliner. It doesn't have a lot of longevity in the waterline, but I think that'll just kind of add an extra silver in there to just kind of make it pop. For my eyeliner, I'm using this one again. I'm trying to get rid of it. It's the Elizabeth Mott You're So Fine liquid liner, and there's a little bit of glitter in there, so that'll be fun. And then for my mascara, I'm actually really excited about this, so let me tell you a story. This is the CK1 mascara. They were giving it out at Ulta last year for your birthday. Mine was in October, so I just took it out of the package because I had so many other mascaras to use, but I didn't realize what was so cool about this, which is very appropriate for Ant-Man. This is in a black color, black. It's in black. So this is what the actual wand looks like. It looks like this, okay? So as you can see, the bristles are very close together. But then if you twist the top, the bristles will like lengthen and there'll be more space in between it, which I thought was so appropriate for Ant-Man because Ant-Man shrinks and then gets bigger. So does your mascara wand. So this is the mascara that I'm using, and I'm only using one because the bristles are big and small, so I can use them on both my upper and lower lashes. And you'll see I'll twist it up in the camera so you can see where I'm using what. So excited for this, yes. That's where I'm going. All right.
Then let's see now. Next, so yeah, the visual effects were amazing, and there were tons of references to Avengers. Obviously, it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so clearly the people going around are going to know about the Avengers. They know about what's happening there in that situation. And it was a little like, it kind of like took me by surprise at first when there's a mention of the Avengers.
Yeah.
And because it was so like, just like, Avengers. And I was like, wait, what? They know about, oh yeah. So, but then throughout the whole movie, there's all these different things that kept happening that had to do with the Avengers. And I thought that was so cool. Like,
yeah.
It felt like, it felt like the comics, because they do it in the comics. But you don't really see it that much when you see it in the movies because they're so scared of like, who owns what and, can we mention these people and do anything with those people?
Right, but since it's all one studio, they can totally do that.
Yeah.
And for you Peggy Carter people, she does make a cameo at the beginning of this movie, and it's like one of the first things you see, and I was like, Peggy Carter! I want to cosplay as her so bad. And the actress that plays her, Haley Atwell, I don't know if you all saw the Comic-Con dub smash war between her and the guy who plays Jeeves on Peggy Carter, and then the entire Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cast had this like epic...
Jarvis.
It's not Jeeves, yeah, Jarvis.
Oh,
so yeah, they had this like epic dub smash battle. If you have not seen this, you need to go online and watch them. There's one blog out there that chronicles all of them, so you can see it, in the way that they did it. This cast, I swear, they must have the most fun ever.
Yeah. Her showing up was a really fun surprise, and you could see like a couple of like the people that are a little bit of like Marvel nerds a bit. There was one girl that was like in front of me a little bit, and she was like, Peggy Carter.
Yeah, did you see the other guy? There was a guy in front of me a little bit, and he was such a nerd. He had seen the Star Wars trailer multiple times, and I could tell because he was mouthing the words, and he was orchestrating the sound with his hands, like right on. I'm like, yes, total nerd, loving it.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like seeing other people, because I mean, like Peggy Carter is a smaller character in the Marvel universe. They had the show, but like there was that whole thing of like, is it going to come back? Did enough people like Peggy Carter? So anytime you kind of see people like into her character, it's always fun. It's like a little small family of people that really enjoy that storyline and what's going on with her. So
totally.
But there was also, I don't know if you caught it, but there was also reference to not only Avengers but to
Good.
Spider-Man.
Oh yes, they talked about how they have different people who climb up walls, and they have that one.
Yeah.
Explain that a little more, cause
near the end of the movie, and again, this isn't really a spoiler, but there's like a part where someone's talking about superheroes, and they're like, well, yeah, we got a guy that shrinks, and we got a guy that climbs walls, and there was a couple other things I can't remember. But when she said like the climbing walls thing, I was like, they said something about Spider-Man.
Yeah, so I think Corey heard that too, and he was like, "Oh, Spider-Man."
Yeah.
I wouldn't have caught it if I wasn't sitting in between like Corey and Marshall, but
But yeah, that was, and again, the next, like I was saying at the beginning, the next part of the next phase of the cinematic universe is Captain America: Civil War, which involves Spider-Man. He's going to be involved in that as a character.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, he'll finally be brought in, and so like everything, as always with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, everything is leading to something else in that big giant storyline that's happening. So that worked really well, and I thought that was cool.
Okay, I'm now putting it down smaller.
Yeah, it was so cool seeing how they, like, the effects of, like, making them tiny and then making them big, and, like, the visual effects were so good in it. It's definitely going to get nominated, I think.
It really should. It really should. It was such... I think it was really, like, the underdog of the Marvel Universe, because not a lot of people really knew what it was about. It's kind of a lesser-known superhero, and a lot of people were like, I can't believe they're making this, honestly. But it was just such a good thing. It just came out of nowhere, and I know a lot of people didn't really like it that much, but I don't know what's wrong with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard some people were like, I don't know about this.
Well, I mean, if you haven't seen it, then yeah, I think you'll probably be on the fence, but like, it is really fun. It was a lot of fun. The storyline was good. But you can definitely tell it's developing Ant-Man for him to be used later on in the other movies with the Avengers, because he was an original Avenger in the comics. He was one of the originals. Oh. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's setting it up, but at the same time, it was still entertaining for, that.
I'm on to my last step.
Ooh.
This is a NYX Intense Butter Glass. I just picked this up this morning. It is in the shade Spice Cake. You can tell it matches my shirt even. You can tell it's very dark. So we will see, because the eye look is pretty good, like pretty intense. So we'll see how this goes with it. If not, I'll always take it off and put something else on. So let's see how it goes.
What was that called again? What's that stuff called?
Spice Cake.
No, well, not the color, but
Oh, the thing is NYX Intense Butter Gloss. I love butter glosses from NYX. I have a couple of like the lighter colors, but this one is like, they have a line that's all like really prismatic. It's really pigmented and like really intense colors, and yeah, so that's why I got this. Unfortunately, okay, a little Ulta rant, I guess. I haven't been to Ulta in a little while, and honestly, if you are interested in seeing this, comment below, but one of the things that we were thinking about doing is maybe doing a Men Buy Makeup, I think is what we were going to call it. It's basically like doing like a supermarket sweet meets makeup meets couponing thing and like just turn Chris and Marshall loose, you know, whatever. I don't know, we haven't really decided it yet. So when we were in Ulta this morning, Marshall and I were kind of like looking at stuff and seeing what they have, and every time I go in there, the NYX section is like picked over so badly and I can never get what I want. I'm almost always have to go online. So yeah, a couple of these colors I haven't been able to find, and then I was trying to look at some of their matte suede lippies. I don't think they're out yet, but I really want those too. So I think in the coming months I'll probably be doing a lot more of the matte lip creams that are coming out. I know L'Oreal has some that are called like La Matte that I saw in there, and I might want to do those. So tangent, but that's what's happening. Okay.
Cool. I just thought the name Butter Gloss was interesting.
Well, it smells like, wow. It smells, just saw what it looked like. It smells like cake. All of the ones smell like frosting or cake or, yeah. I'm gonna wear this for the video, and then after it's done, it's coming off. I don't know. Okay, we have other videos to do today.
It does match your shirt though.
It does.
Absolutely. Alright, so since we're getting near the end of the video, I'm doing my favorite part, the trivia part. Some little quick, fun information about the movie. Some of the stuff I found out, the Ant-Man costume that they had designed and made for Paul Rudd, they actually had to resize it a few times during filming because he kept bulking up. And he's already a tiny guy if you have ever seen him.
Yeah, he is.
So, yeah, he kept bulking up. So, yeah, they keep fixing that. And then also, the original Ant-Man, his wife, if you know the comics at all, is the Wasp. And they do mention her a little bit in this. They were trying to look for someone to play her, but they ended up not having her in the movie as much as they originally had scripted.
You actually see like her. So one of them, she's got a mask on, and I noticed in one of the pictures, you see like half of her face. Like so I'm wondering, like, stuff happens, the reason why she's not in here, but I keep wondering if they're just gonna like have her come back in, you know, a different movie, and they just haven't cast her yet, so that's why they're like hiding a face.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna have like a bigger reveal of another actress probably.
Yeah. But the two main actresses they were considering for her was Rashida Jones and Emma Stone. Which I don't know if Emma Stone would work because she wasn't
Rashida Jones would be great.
I love Rashida Jones. She's really cool.
Great.
So yeah. And then as far as the original Ant-Man, Hank Pym, the actors they considered were Sean Bean, the British actor.
Okay.
Pierce Brosnan, another British actor, and Gary Oldman, British actor, good. And then weird choice to me, Steve Buscemi. Yeah, I don't know who thought that could be a possibility, but he was seriously considered at one time.
No, they made a great choice with Michael Douglas. And you know, okay, so they showed Michael Douglas in two different places. They show him in the 70s? 89.
Yeah.
And then they show him in present. And in 89, he looked amazing. Like Corey turned to me and he was like, he looks really good after all the health stuff that he's been going through, like for sure. But I wonder if they like touched him up real good.
Too. Yeah. But yeah, that again is so good. The visual effects, so good. And then Luis, played by Michael Pena, there's a part where he's posing as a guard and he whistles a little tune. You'll recognize it right away. It's a Small World. Sorry, just get one. But it's funny. The reason why they chose that was obviously there's the synergy with Disney. Disney owns Marvel now, but also because Ant-Man is small. Get it?
Oh!
He's small.
Very good.
Yeah. And then my last thing, something I thought was really cool when I found it out. Yellow Jacket, his outfit is 100% totally digital throughout the whole movie. They did not have a real costume for him like they did for Ant-Man. It was all digital, and I didn't notice that. I don't know if you did, but I didn't notice it at all in the movie.
No.
And I thought that was cool. I was like, what? But yeah, they couldn't figure out a way to really physically make the things for it. So they're like, just make it all digital. And they did a friggin' awesome job.
So one thing I really have to say about the movie as a whole, there was a lot of things that happened. Like, they really played with the small and the large perspective ratio, especially towards the end when you get into the last major fight. Is hysterical because of where they're fighting, and I won't give it away, but where they're fighting is so funny because you hear like the superhero noises of like, and they're like, you know, fighting each other, and then you see it in the real perspective, and it's like, dink, and it's awesome. Like I know if you aren't a fan of a lot of superhero movies, you know, just give this one a try anyway. I think it's up there with Avengers in, you know, just the value of the average person liking it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I think anyone could really relate to a lot of the parts of it. Like, I didn't know the whole situation about this Ant-Man and his daughter and that situation. I was like, oh, that's really humanizing. I thought it was really cool.
Exactly. All right, so this is the look for Ant-Man / Yellow Jacket from the movie Ant-Man. Comment below if there's any other movies you want us to do, or TV shows, or whatever. We just did a video game one. I'll link that below for you as well. We just did Final Fantasy VII, so, you know, we're open to whatever. Yeah. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep calm.
Stay zany.
Bye.